Hello, welcome back. YouTube's live stream didn't want to work at first, but I'm getting set up outside here. Leave that there, please. Otto, thank you. Sorry, we're just plugging in outside, taking advantage of some nice spring weather today. There's Otto, who's going to join us today. Trixie, our dog, will probably come into the picture. Oh, there she is. Yep. We'll go ahead and get started in a couple moments. If you have music, you might want to play it. Remember, you can't add music to a live stream. I'm going to play a track from Spotify. There's a link shared in the comments or discussion about this sequence. If you have a mat, that's nice. If you don't, maybe just sit on the floor, sit on some pillows, sit on a chair, maybe, whatever is right for you. Or sit on a blanket, yeah. I'll repeat all this in a moment in case anyone's just joining. Just find somewhere comfortable to sit. Pillow, blanket, chair, floor, yoga mat, blocks. Just try not to sit on your kids. Yeah. We'll give people a minute or two to join, and then we'll get started. Yeah, if you don't have any blocks, you can use pillows. You may want some water. And definitely after yoga, you should always drink water. Would you like some water? I think you need to get your own, don't you? All right, I'll share with you. Oh. You have a hole in your mouth? Yeah. So as you're getting settled, just start to relax. Oh, okay. Focus on your breath. We're going to breathe primarily in and out of our nose. Sit up nice and tall and relax your shoulders. Maybe your palms are face up on your knees. And just start to breathe nice and slow, maybe 5 or 8 counts on your inhale, and then maybe hold for a count or 2 at the top. And then the same on the exhale, so something like this. As you're settling in for your practice, maybe focus on an intention for your practice today. Maybe it's health or compassion or gratitude or love or patience or staying sane or wondering why your son is randomly moving his mouth. No, I don't. As a reminder, everything in yoga is for yourself. It's your practice. So everything I offer is a suggestion, not a command. So do what's right for you. Be inspired to do less or more as you see fit. This is a gentler sequence. It's intended to be something that still brings energy, a little different than restorative. So it's still like a Vinyasa flow sequence, but it's intended to be a bit easier, needed. But still, feel free to modify and do what's right for you. We're going to start with a balancing breathing technique. So bring your pointer and thumb together. What we're going to do is inhale through one nostril and exhale through the other, and continue that back and forth for about 30 seconds, and then switch which nostril you're breathing in through and which one you're breathing out through. So about 30 seconds to a minute per side. So we're going to, for example, you're going to inhale through your left or your right, and then you switch your thumb onto the opposite nostril and then exhale just through your left. Now, I can't really explain that while doing it because I can't talk and cut it off. So just continue to breathe through one nostril and through the other, and you just seal it off with the breath. And what this does, it helps balance yourself out, balance your energy. There's a lot that can be done through the power of breath, and it's the foundation for all of yoga. So a balancing breath is one where you alternate sides. If you're ever feeling like you need more energy, like you need a coffee, you can breathe exclusively through your right side, basically the side opposite your heart. Or if you ever need to relax, if you just need to fall asleep when you're tired, you can focus primarily breathing through your left on your heart side. If you haven't switched sides yet on your alternating nostril breathing, go ahead and do so. Continue to relax. Focus on your breath and the moment you're in. Don't focus on the past or the future for the next hour. Just be present in each moment. And if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. I'll look throughout. Since this is a more gentle class, I'm going to just keep an eye on the chat. If you have any problems or anything, just let me know. I think so. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start with some nice, gentle spine openers. So first you're going to inhale and you're going to continuing through your nose, you're going to start to bring your arms and hands up high and just start to stretch your spine. And as slow as you can, exhale and bring your hands back down. And continue this with your own breath, inhaling nice and tall. Exhaling, releasing. Inhale up. And exhale, release. And this time we're going to bring your arms up again. And you're going to plant your right hand beside your right hip. Then you're going to exhale and just lean to the side. You can look down at your hand, forward or up under your arm. Each provide a slightly different stretch. The goal here is to get a bit of a stretch on your side and your spine. With each exhale, maybe surrender a little bit deeper. Slowly inhale, rise back up through center, arms up overhead. And exhale, your left hand beside your hip and lean to your left. Continuing to surrender. Inhale, rise up through center. And I'm going to remove my block, but you can keep your block underneath you. And then exhale, take a twist. Bring your right hand behind you, left hand outside, your right knee. Sit up tall, and then gently twist from your belly. Could be an inch or two, or you could be twisting all the way to look at your back shoulder. Whatever's right for you. Continue to breathe through your nose. And keeping a twist in your spine, slowly turn your head to look forward while your body remains twisted. Let's try to manage your dog dropping dirt on your mat. Exhale, release the twist. If you're in seated pose, you might change the cross of your legs. No, I want to leave it on, please. Inhale your arms up overhead. And now exhale, twist to your left. Left hand behind you, right hand outside your left knee. And slowly twist to the side. And look back over your shoulder if you can. Otto's going to take a break. Keeping the twist in your spine, slowly turn your head forward. And look over your right shoulder. And exhale, release. And bring your hands to your knees. And just shrug your shoulders up and back, nice and slow. Continuing to breathe. I won't cue every breath we take, so just continue to breathe through your nose. And then inhale, look down at your right shoulder and slowly rotate your head and your neck. Continuing to breathe, and if that, we'll take a few circles in one direction and then a few in the other, but take it nice and slow. After your third rotation, feel free to turn. That's good. Go ahead and return to neutral. Place your hands on your shins. And we're going to do a seated cat-cow. For that, you have a nice, if you're seated in a chair, just put your hands on your knees. Or place your hands on your shins. So what you're going to do is you're going to inhale for a cow, which involves moving your lower belly forward, your chest forward, and keeping your shoulders back, and your head looks forward. And then on your exhale, you're going to curve your spine, round it, and look down. Your head just moves through the natural straightening on the inhale and curving on the exhale of your spine. Move with your own breath, nice and slow and deliberate. The more you pull on your shins or your knees, the more you'll feel this. Return to neutral. And then inhale, bring your hands forward, interlace your fingers, and turn your palms to face me or the screen. And you're going to inhale your arms up, straighten your back. And then you're going to exhale, round your spine and hands point forward again. And exhale down. One more time with your own breath. And then relax. I'm just trying to get a different experience today, since I've been cooped up inside a lot this week when it was raining and such. Now, we're going to do a teeter-totter motion. So interlace your fingers together and get a nice strong grip. One hand facing me, one hand facing you. And we're just going to move our arms here. So we're going to inhale one arm up and the other down, and exhale to neutral. And then switch sides, inhale up and exhale to neutral. And just continue this with your own breath. And what's happening here, keep going, is the pulling here goes all the way up through there into the side of your neck spine. And it's a very difficult place to activate and to open up. So one more time on each side. Return to neutral. Now we're going to do a posture that's meant to help you relax your hands a bit and also build some heat. So what we're going to do is inhale our arms up and our hands spread out as wide as possible. And then you're going to exhale, bring your elbows to your side and bring your hands like fists. So inhale up, exhale to side. And with each inhale with your hands, just really simple motion helps open up our shoulders, open up our hands and wrists. And also it surprisingly generates a lot of heat, warming our bodies up. One more time, and then relax. And now if you're seated on the ground, go ahead and straighten your legs out. If you're seated on a chair, you can still sit the way you are. What you're going to do is we're going to do a gentle forward fold. So you're going to inhale your arms up overhead, and then just surrender from the belly. folding. Maybe your palms come to the earth. Maybe you fold further down, but just fold to a point where you're starting to feel a bit of a stretch in your back and your hamstrings. Generally, if you bend your elbows here, it helps relax your shoulders, but don't do that to force yourself down. Inhale, slowly rise back up. Now we're going to have the option to come onto our hands and knees. Or if you're seated, you may continue what we were just doing with that cat-cow sequence. If you're on your hands and knees, in yoga, when we plant our hands, we want to spread our fingers out wide, pointer or middle finger facing forward, and the goal is to create as little tension on our wrists as possible. To achieve that, we always have at least a small bend in our elbows so our triceps can be engaged. We try to create as little space between our hands and the earth as possible. This allows us to reduce tension on our wrists, and you can actively think about your outer two fingers, your knuckles, and your finger mounds doing the work. And when you do that, it removes the pressure from your wrist and rebalances it throughout your hand and your body. Your knees are shoulder width apart. And what we're doing here is we're just compressing and decompressing the spine and opening up the muscles around it. So we're gonna inhale for a cow by lowering our belly, gliding the chest forward and looking straight forward. And then we're gonna exhale by curving the lower spine and the upper spine, and then the head comes down. And continue with your own breath, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Then you can return to neutral. And if you are on your hands and knees, what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring one leg back, stretch out your calf and your hamstring a little bit. If you're seated, you might find the same expression by pointing and flexing your toe, or maybe pushing it against a wall while you're seated and just getting the same kind of rocking motion. And then switch sides. And I'm just moving so you can see me, but you can just keep straight on your mat while you do this. We're just rocking on the ball of our foot, onto the toes, and just getting that calf and hamstring activated a bit. And then go ahead and return to neutral. From here, we're gonna come into child's pose. If you're on your mat, this means to bring your knees out wide, forward. And just surrender and continue to breathe. If you're in child's pose and you'd like to add to it, you can walk your hands off to the side and resettle down into your child's pose. If you're on a seat, you might bring one arm outside your shoulder a bit more and just surrender to that side a little bit. If you're in the twist, go ahead and slowly walk yourself to the other side. Similarly, if you're in your chair, switch arms and look to the other side. And inhale, walk back through center, either seated or hands and knees. From here, you can come into your first down dog by curling your toes, straightening your legs, and rising up through down dog. Start to straighten one leg and bend the other. If you're seated, you might just stand up, and you might just try lifting your feet onto your heel and onto your toe, alternating back and forth. Just try to engage the back of your legs and your hamstrings a little bit. From down dog, you can slowly walk your hands back to your feet and fold forward. You can grasp one elbow with the opposite hand and vice versa. The goal here is to surrender, not to force it. So just let your head surrender towards the earth. As you straighten your legs, maybe your head slides a little bit further. You can always bend your knees a little bit if you need to. And exhale, fold forward. Your hands can come to the earth or towards your shins or your feet. If you want, you could bring your feet under, or your hands under your feet, and bring your toes onto your wrists, and maybe re-straighten your legs a little bit. This gives a bit of a release for your wrists. And gently release that. And inhale, slowly rise up, vertebrae by vertebrae. You're gonna stand in a nice tall mountain pose. So for mountain pose, your feet are hip width apart. You gauge your quads and your hamstrings, your shoulders back, your chest forward, your palms forward, your triceps are engaged. Your head's relaxed, your shoulders relaxed. Just feel the power of this simple standing posture where you're actively engaging your muscles and opening your heart by bringing your chest forward and your shoulders back. We're going to inhale our arms up overhead. Relaxing your shoulders will help straighten your arms. And then exhale, bring your right hand to your right hip and lean to your right. Inhale, rise back up through center. And exhale, lean to your left. Inhale, rise back up through center. Cactus your arms, keeping your elbows shoulder height or higher. And inhale, lift your right heel and then twist to the right on your exhale. Inhale, rise back through center, lower your right heel, lift your left heel, and exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, back through center, hands back by your side. You can leave your hands here, or you can bring them on your low back with your elbows pointing backwards, or you can interlace your fingers. Either way, inhale, lean back, look up gently, but not too high. And then bend your knees and start to fold forward in whatever way is comfortable for you. Maybe re-straighten your legs when you reach the bottom. Maybe your hands come up off your back and overhead. Maybe they don't. And exhale, release your hands to the earth. Inhale to half lift, hands to your shins. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Inhale, rise up slowly, hands to your hips. And we're going to inhale our right leg forward a few feet. Our legs are going to remain on parallel tracks. Our front leg is going to become bent at first. Our back leg remains straight. Back foot's pointed out at a 45-degree angle. Your hips are facing forward. Your shoulders remain relaxed. And then you can gently bring your arms up and relax your shoulders, keeping that front knee bent if you can. This is known as Warrior A. Inhale, let's straighten that front knee. Exhale, bend it. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And as we go through these straighten and bends with our breath, try to keep equal balance between your front and back leg. Now in this next bend, let's hold it for a couple breaths. Then exhale, bring your hands to your hips, straighten your legs, and bring your left leg back to meet your right. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward to the earth. Inhale your hands to half lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, settle, and exhale. Now bring your left leg forward. Get into Warrior A. So your legs remain on parallel, separate tracks. You bend your front knee. Keep that back leg straight, 45-degree angle out. Hips twist forward. Arms up, shoulders relax. Inhale, straighten your front leg. And exhale, bend your front knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten that front knee. Hands to your hips. Bring that right leg back to meet your left, or left leg back to meet your right. Inhale your arms up overhead. And exhale, slowly swan dive to the earth. Inhale, half forward. Inhale, rise back up, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And this time, you're gonna bring your right leg forward, and your left foot's gonna pop back, and now your heels are gonna be in the same parallel track and alignment. Your front knee is gonna bend. And you're gonna look to your side, your hips are spread off to the side. Your arms rise up, shoulders remain relaxed. One front of you, one behind you. You can't see the hand behind you unless you look back. And then look over your front fingers for warrior B. Inhale, straighten that front knee. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend. Hold it here for a moment. Then inhale, flip that front palm, lean forward, and then lean back for reverse warrior. Keeping that front knee bent. And then keeping the arms where they are, straighten that front knee and lift that top hand up for reverse triangle. And then bend that front knee and bring your elbow to your quad and bring the top arm up. Look to the side. This is side angle. And then bring your back hand to your hip. Inhale, straighten your front leg. And exhale, come back to the back of your mat, standing tall. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward, lift, flat back, hands to your shins. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, slowly rise up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale your left leg forward, or opposite of what you were just doing. Bring that right foot out. Your heels are now in the same track. Front knee bends. Knee over your ankle. Your hips are off to the side. You're finding equal balance between your back straight leg and your front bent leg. Arms out, shoulders remain relaxed. Look over your front fingers. Warrior B. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend that knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Hold it for a couple breaths. And then inhale, flip that front palm, lean forward, and then lean back for reverse warrior. And then inhale, straighten that front leg, keep the arms where they are, and lift that top hand up higher for reverse triangle. And then inhale, bend that front knee, and bring your arm down, knee to your elbow, and your top hand up for side angle. Trying to keep your back and shoulder in the same plane as your legs. Inhale, straighten up. Now, of course, in any of these, you can take a Vinyasa flow if that's in your practice, but I'm intending this one to be a fairly easy sequence. So you can exhale, your feet back to the back of your mat, and you're either taking your Vinyasa flow or you're rising your arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, fold. And if you're doing chair and standing, go back to your chair. Otherwise, come back to your hands and knees. If you're on your mat, Inhale your right leg back in the air behind you, parallel. If you're seated, just bring your right leg forward, parallel, and curve your toes pointing to the earth, the ceiling, I mean. Then exhale, glide your right knee forward into a lunge. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. If you're seated, just bring your arms up overhead and maybe have one leg raised and the other one lower. Then bring your right hand to your right hip and exhale, lean forward and twist your elbow outside your knee for a gentle twist. Exhale, release to center. And inhale, come back to child's pose. Knees out, toes together. Or if you're seated, just fold forward a little bit. Hands over your shoulders. Come back to hands and knees. Inhale your left leg behind you. Exhale, glide it forward. Something I forgot to do on the other side, but it's really helpful, is to lean back a bit. And then glide forward and open your arms up all the way overhead. And then bring your arms up to crescent. Relaxing your shoulders. It's more approachable. Exhale, release the twist. Bring your knees back and come back up through down dog. Maybe lift onto your toes and roll to your side for a variation of side plank. It's quite easy. And straighten back up onto your toes and roll off to the other sides of your feet. Rise back up through center. If you're in down dog, come to plank. Lower your chest or onto your knees and lower your chest. Rise up through cobra. Elbows towards your chest, your torso. And exhale, come up through down dog. Stay here in down dog for a few breaths. Or come into child's pose for a few breaths if you like. For down dog, you want to be looking back between your legs, your feet. Forming a nice upside down V shape with your spine. Taking pressure off your wrists. Trying to straighten those legs and arms with just a micro bend of the knees and elbows. Gently walk your hands back to your feet or stand up if you're on a chair. And slowly rise up. And bring the right arm up in the air, over your head, and tilt to the side, and then just rotate it across the center nice and slow. And then when it comes back to your right hip, lift your left arm up overhead, and then lean to your left, and then bring your arm back through center and to your left hip. Continue each side with your own breath, inhaling and exhaling. Just one full revolution on one side. Inhaling up and exhaling down. One more time on each side. Bring your hands to sit and give your wrists a little stretch this way. Now again, from standing this time, make fists, and straighten your hands. Make fists and straighten your hands. Grab a sip of water if you need it. Now we're going to put a bunch of this stuff together. If you're seated, just do your best. Just focus on your arms and trying to stretch out your legs. So come slide it forward and rise up through Warrior A. Bending your front knee, straightening your arms, hips forward, hands together. Exhale through Warrior B. Straighten your front leg, top hand up for a reverse triangle. This time we're going to add a triangle. Keep your legs where they are. Inhale your arms forward and lean forward and tilt. Focus on your top hand lifting up. That's more important than anything downward here. And keeping that shoulder back in the same plane as your legs. And then exhale, bend your front knee and come into side angle, keeping the arms where they were. And then exhale, come into a lunge. And bring your foot back into a plank. And take a Vinyasa flow, which is high push-up to low push-up. Up dog to down dog. I think of the Vinyasa flow as the burpee of yoga, but it's much kinder and gentler than a CrossFit burpee. Inhale your left leg up in the air behind you. Exhale, glide it forward. Exhale, Warrior B. Now your legs in the same track. Inhale, flip your front palm and lean back for reverse warrior. Straighten that front leg with that top hand. Keep that back in the same plane as your legs. And then exhale, bend your front knee, right hand inside your right leg for side angle. And then plant your hands and take your Vinyasa flow. High push-up to low push-up, up dog or cobra to down dog. And come onto your hands and knees. If you're seated, so if you're seated in a chair, obviously I'm not in a chair, this leg's down. You might just try and bring this foot over and just get a bit of a stretch here by pushing down. Otherwise, we're going to do a few different sequences here from hands and knees. We're going to start in lizard. Let's start nice and tall. Your knee over your ankle. And you're welcome to whatever variation you like here. You could bring your forearms to the earth or to a block, or you could do a balancing posture, or you could do bird of paradise variation, where I'm just going to scoot back so I have a mat next to me. Plant your hands and surrender that leg off to the side. Surrender to the earth. This looks difficult, but it's actually a bit easier than the others. Wherever you're at, just focus on letting that hip open up a little more. And continuing to breathe. Wherever you're at, slowly rise back up to lizard. We're going to come to half splits. You can straighten your front leg and lean your forehead over your knee. You're welcome to go into a fuller expression of the posture if you'd like. Do what's right for you. If you're seated, you just lift your leg up. Maybe you put it on a table or something. No, I'm not doing table right now. And then slowly walk back to high lizard. If you have bad knees, you could just do what I was showing you on the chair, or you can come onto your back and do a figure four, or bring your knee to your chest. Otherwise, you can walk your toe out to pigeon and start up tall. Maybe put a block under your leg. Your shin ideally is perpendicular or parallel to the front of your mat, but it can slide back to make it a bit easier on you. Sit up nice and tall, back legs behind you, straight. And then you can start to walk yourself down to your forearms, or maybe a bit further down, all the way to the earth. Or whatever variation of this gives you a dull stretch, not pain. The goal for yoga is not pain. Continue to breathe. Inhale, slowly walk back up. And come back up to hands and knees. And maybe shake that right leg out a bit. Or if you're seated or not, maybe just tap on your legs a little bit and give it a little bit of a massage. And let's do the left side. So left leg back, parallel to the earth, toes pointed down. Hands on the inside of your foot. And you're welcome to stay here or lower onto your forearms. Or find that bird of paradise variation, which looks a lot more challenging than it is. But really it's about surrendering and trusting that your body knows how to do this. Obviously, if you're nowhere close to this, don't worry. This is just actually easier than the high lizard or high humble warrior pose. Continue to breathe, opening up your hips and relaxing. Slowly inhale, rise back up to high lizard over a couple breaths. And then exhale, straighten that front leg for half splits or slide it forward for fuller expression. You can put a block or a pillow underneath your hamstring, or you can put blocks under your hands for support. Maybe lean your forehead towards your knee, maybe not. And inhale, slowly rise back up. And then take any of the variations we talked about or come into pigeon. Heel toeing your foot off to the side. Shin rock under you'd like. Your hip is off the earth and inside your knee. Start up tall. If that feels good, slowly work your way down onto your forearms. And if that feels good, slowly slide further forward. Or take any other variation of pigeon that's right for you. Yoga is all about the practice of helping you breathe better, helping your mind calm down and relax and focus, and using your body to help it achieve those things. So the body is actually the least important part of yoga. So just focus on doing yoga perfectly in your mind and breathing well. And let the body do what it can do and don't worry about what it cannot do. Inhale, slowly rise up. Maybe shake out that left hip a little bit. Or maybe massage your sides a little bit. And bring my bones out of the sunshine. Now we're going to slowly roll down onto our bellies, forearms parallel into Sphinx. And here we're just looking for a nice dull stretch on our low back. So you could stand up and just lean back with your upper body just slightly. Bring one arm up overhead and roll onto your back. If you're in your chair, this might be a good time to transition to your bed if you can, or to a sofa. and just lay down on a softer surface if that's right for you. If you're on a mat, I welcome you to do a supported bridge. For supported bridge, you grab either a block or a firm pillow, plant your heels fairly close to your bottom, roughly where your hands can reach. Roll your shoulders underneath you, straighten the back of your head, and then inhale, lift your hips, and just plant the block on low or medium underneath your sacrum. Palms face up, and just surrender here for a little while. And just surrender here for a little while. There's a couple other variations of this you could explore in a gentle practice. One would be to bring your legs up overhead if you like. Generally, this is easier with a lower block. Or the other would be to bring your feet together in sort of a butterfly posture. And your hips on this block, your feet together in sort of a trauma release pose. Or you could even do this trauma release pose without the block and just hover and hold it for a while. If you're more advanced in yoga, this would be a great time to explore wheel, shoulder stand, plow, headstands, handstands, pincha. Could use a wall for any of those. We're going to take a fairly long Shavasana option when you're ready. You can either just lay flat on your mat, palms face up, legs long, toes out, heels in, and just relax into every part of your body. Or you could place a block back under your sacrum and let your legs invert for a while. Or you could even put your legs against the wall for support. You could bring your arms up overhead if that feels a little better. Whatever you need to do to relax and surrender. The legs up the wall and inversions in general are really good for reversing your blood flow, improving your circulation, helping with balance and orientation and a lot of positive healing aspects to them. I'm going to go ahead and surrender into another type of Shavasana. Continue to breathe, relaxing, and eventually finding stillness. You're welcome to stay here a while longer and pause the video and come back later. Or you're welcome to start bringing some life back to your hands and feet by windshield wipering your wrists and ankles side to side, or just wiggling your fingers and toes. Bring your arms up overhead and your legs long, toes curled back for a nice long your chest, and your hands around your shins and gently rock side to side. Maybe plant your feet wide at the edges of your mat and just let your knees go to one side, sometimes called Hercules pose. And just try to continue opening up a bit. And then bring one arm up overhead, roll to that side, and eventually find your way back in a seated posture. Maybe sit on the edge of your block. And when you're ready, inhale your arms up overhead just like we started class. Exhale, release. Inhale up. Continue with breath. And maybe reflect on how different you feel now compared to an hour ago. How much energy you've moved around, how much more balanced or relaxed you might feel. Inhale your hands to heart center, fingers spread wide, palms towards your sternum. Head lowers a little bit. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you in your practice today. Hopefully anything you learned here can be carried throughout your day or your week. I bow to the light and sound and all of you. Namaste. Thank you for attending. I'm going to continue to try to do at least one class a day live streamed, and then, of course, there's videos for everything. I don't really want the pressure of having to come up with a new sequence every day, so some of them may be similar and some of them may be different, but hopefully it's enjoyable for you, and hope you do well, and feel free to send me any feedback or suggestions or requests, and I'll do what I can to answer them. And I'll hang out a couple minutes here for the live chat if you have any specific questions or feedback now. Otherwise, feel free to find me on social media or email or wherever you know to reach me. And as Otto, my son, would say, be sure to like and subscribe. My goal with this is to just help people and also to have a commitment to continue my practice during this sort of coronavirus self-quarantine stuff. But also, if we did get a lot of subscribers and there was ad revenue to be made or whatever, I would be looking to donate that to the coronavirus cause. So there is some value in having more subscribers, but that's not my primary motivation here. So just do what you like. And thank you for joining me. I ended this practice a little shorter than normal today. I felt like I was just trying to start really basic for a gentle class today. So thank you for joining. And I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye.